So guys, it's me, Taquito Man 64, and today we're going to be talking about a game very near and dear to my heart, a game that I love so much, and that game is Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 2. I love this game so much. This was the first Spider-Man game I've ever played, and for a long time it was my only Spider-Man game. Now I can play the other games, but this was the only one for so long. And also it's based off of some of my favorite movies of all time, being the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. I love those movies. I didn't just grow up with those movies. I was raised by those movies. Those are just so good, and that's still, in my opinion, my favorite Spider-Man, but that's a story for another time. But yeah, remember to sit back, relax, and we're gonna talk about Spider-Man 2. This video is not for the faint of heart. So now it's time to talk about some history on Spider-Man 2. The game released June 29th, 2004 in North America for the PS2, GameCube, Xbox, Windows, Game Boy, and I'm pretty sure it released on the DS and PSP, but I'm pretty sure that was later because those consoles were not out by the release of the movie. But yeah, it's a game based off of the sequel to Spider-Man 1, which Spider-Man 1 had a game, but that's a story for another time. So yeah, this is one of the best movie tie-in games ever made, and movie tie-in games were so funny, and I kind of miss that they're gone. We'll never see those ever again, which is just sad, but this is one of the good movie tie-in games. And a fun fact was, the swing system in this game was actually supposed to be in the Spider-Man 1 game, but it just was not finished. And also, this game has an entirely cut sewer system in it, which is really insane. They added it back in the third game, which I might not ever talk about the third Spider-Man game because I have my reasons.
Help! Please! Someone! I'm going to die!
So, yeah, that was some history on Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 2.
She looks at me every day. Mary Jane Watson. Oh boy, if she only knew how I felt about her. But she can never know.
Now it's time to talk about the story of Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 2. And the reason why I keep clarifying that, because there are so many Spider-Man 2s out there. There's Spider-Man 2, Enter Electro, and then Marvel Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 5. Don't know why they keep naming them basically the same, because it makes doing research for this video really awful. But I digress. It's time to talk about the story of the game. And the story is basically the one from the movie where Peter Parker's trying to balance being himself while being Spider-Man, and Otto Octavius is trying to create a masterpiece, but it goes horribly wrong, end up killing his wife, and he becomes Doc Ock. Him and Spider-Man tussle a little bit throughout the movie, and that's pretty much it. And for the video games, you basically take that, remove the fact that Spider-Man loses his powers, and add in Rhino, Black Cat, Mysterio, and Shocker, and you pretty much have the video game. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually like the differences that the game has, because it makes it feel distinct from the movie, and that just feels like you're playing the fudging movie. And they had to add those just to make the game a little bit longer. And you know what? I like that. It's not that bad. And also, some of these characters we'll probably never see in a movie. We have seen Mysterio and Shocker in a movie, but Shocker was practically non-existent in Homecoming. And Mysterio in Far From Home sucked. I'm not gonna elaborate on it, because if you know, you know. And yeah, and I don't know if we're ever gonna see Black Cat in a movie. There are just rumors that Black Cat will be in movies every time, and then she just never appears. But I'm kind of okay with that, because I'm not really a big fan of Black Cat, because Felicia belongs on the fudging streets. So yeah, that's pretty much the story of Spider-Man 2. I think it's okay. Not even okay, I think it's pretty good for a movie tie-in game. And I just really love it, and it may be a little nostalgia talking, in my bias, but I still think it's pretty good for a movie tie-in game. Now those are pretty much gone, and I'm sad because of that. So yeah, let's just move on to the next segment. Now it's time to talk about the gameplay of Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 2. And this game still has some of the best gameplay in any Spider-Man game. Like, there's a reason why this game is so beloved by everyone, because it's just so fun to play. Like, the movement in this game is really good, and this is one of the rare Spider-Man games to have a sprint, and like, you use that to get more speed while swinging, and also you can hold on the jump button to get a super jump, which is super helpful for those balloon missions. And then like, it's just really fun. I think the wall running does suck in this game. I think it's like some of the worst wall running in any Spider-Man game. It just feels super clunky, but the swinging is where it's at. The swing in this game is still really fudging good. Once you master it, it just feels so good to swing through the city, and it's just awesome. And you have the combat, which the combat in this game is not that in depth, but there's still some depth to be found, and there's still combos that I find that I never knew were in the game till this day. It's like a really good and fun combat system. Just beat up on enemies, and then like you have the webs where you can just like use them to like grab the enemies and just like swing them around, and then like either like hold their weapons away or just completely web them up with a web ball, because if you sprint and press the web button, you'll just shoot a web ball at them and they'll fully web them. Then you have the grab, which is just really fudging fun to use, because you can just chuck people off of buildings, which is just really brutal, and it's just really funny. You can't really do that in the newer Spider-Man games for some odd reason, and I just think that's kind of stupid. I should be able to throw someone into the ocean if I want to. Out of context, that sounds very awful. But yeah, and also this game has like this slow-mo spider sense mode where you can just like cheese every fudging boss fight with, but be able to dodge them so easily. And like, this game does have a dodge button, but I kind of just spam it and then I'll just dodge all the attacks. That's basically what I do. But if you turn on that slow-mo, you can perfectly dodge everything and just like cheese any fight in the game. So yeah. And then you have the open world, which I think the open world in this game is still really fudging good. And I still think it's kind of better than some of the newer Spider-Man games, because this game just has like fully explorable buildings that just don't even really need to be in the game, but they just are. And you have the hideouts, which I really like the hideouts. They're like these red buildings on the map, and then you can just go inside of them and then beat up some criminals, and that's just really fun. And you also just have the secret tokens, the buoy tokens, and the skyscraper tokens, which are a really fun addition. And then you have the shops to get abilities for Spider-Man, and they're just like, again, fully explorable buildings, and it's just really fun to like explore the city, and it just feels like there's a lot to do. And I like how like people just like be randomly talking, will just call you a menace, or there'll just be people just praising Spider-Man. It just makes the city feel more lived in. But yeah, I think it's time to talk about the missions of the game. The missions are split up into a couple different categories. Like, you have the first one being the purple missions, which they will just be random little missions that'll spawn on your map for a limited period of time, and you can choose to do them or you can just ignore them. But I usually choose to do them, and I'm only going to talk about a couple of them, which are just like some of my favorites, being the speeding car ones. The speeding car ones are really fun because you'll just hear them yelling and down the road, and you just have to stop the car, and when you do, they'll get mad because like you shouldn't have been speeding through the road and maybe you want to get your car wrecked. And then there are the balloon missions, which these balloon missions are very annoying because you have to grab the balloons and hand them back to the kids, and their cries are forever edged into my brain. And they're like sometimes so annoying that I just actively don't do them sometimes. But yeah, and then you have a mission that I genuinely do not know why is not in any of the newer Spider-Man games. Is the ones where the criminals steals the lady's purse and you need to get the purse back. And if you throw them in the ocean, you immediately fail it because you have to actually return it, and it's like really fun. It's a really stupid mission, and sometimes there could be like multiple criminals or just one. Usually it's just one, but sometimes there probably like 2, and that's just like a really fun thing. And those are the at least notable purple missions. You have some more, but I'm not going to talk about all of them. And then you have the green missions, which the green missions kind of use the same thing where they will randomly spawn, but I don't know if they despawn. But you actually have to talk to people, and you'll get some of the greatest little missions in the entire game, being the armored car missions, where you have to like beat up a bunch of criminals that are robbing an armored car. And then sometimes, which is most of the time, they will just somehow get a backup car to leave, and it's just like really funny. And sometimes they can just have a helicopter, which I don't understand how they got the helicopter, but it is a rare occurrence that doesn't happen all the time. And then you have the infamous boat missions, which the boat missions are kind of annoying, and I suck at them so much, and I dread getting them. And they're like really funny. And then you just have one of my favorite mission types in this game, where they'll just randomly be mechs. Like, I'm talking about whole mech suits just attacking people, and it's really fudging funny. And I don't know where half of these criminals get their stuff from, and it's just like really stupid. And there are, of course, more green missions, but those are just the ones that I wanted to talk about. And then you have the pizza missions, and those ones are just iconic. I love the pizza missions where you have to go to the place and you have to deliver the pizzas in a certain timer. They can get really challenging near the end, and it's just like a really fun thing to do. And also the music is just so iconic at this point. And then you have the last mission type that no one ever talks about, which is the Mary Jane date mission things. You can just randomly do them. You have a certain time to get to the theater, but like nobody talks about these at all. Like nobody does. So yeah. And then you have the story missions, which come in a couple different forms, being white missions, blue missions, and even time missions. Time missions are a lot rarer than the other type of missions, and they're like pretty fun, and they get kind of challenging nearing the end of the game. Not anything like too challenging, but they get a little bit. And the missions in this game are just pretty fun. I like a lot of the story missions. I think they're really fun. Some of my favorite are the Mysterio ones, because they're just like, in my opinion, the best that this game offers when it comes to like missions. And go like genuinely really cool concepts, like the one where you have to swing across the UFOs to get to the Statue of Liberty. That's just a really cool mission. And another favorite mission of mine is the one with Doc Ock and the bank, because you have to fight him a little bit, and he just has his goons, and you have to beat those guys up. And then like he will just kidnap Aunt May and then just get into a fudging helicopter. I don't even know where he got the helicopter from, but it just is really stupid and really funny. And then like the mission that I don't think I like is the out of control fusion reactor mission. I fudging despise that mission. That one is really, really, really stupid, because the ragdoll physics are funny in the game, but it just makes it so insufferable when you're at that last one and then you die and you have to do it all over again. That one just sucks. But overall, I think the story missions in this game are pretty good, and they're just really enjoyable. And now it's time to talk about the boss battles. Before I talk about the boss fights, I forgot to mention a couple things. And one of those things are the most important thing in the entire game, which are hero points. Hero points is basically your currency and also the way you progress through the game. You'll get them by doing missions or by beating up criminals. You'll get them, and you can buy combos from the shop, or if you're really low on health, you can buy health, and like what I said, they will help you progress through the game. Those are hero points, one of the most important things that I forgot to mention. And also, on the map, there are these things called hint markers. And they're these green little things, and when you walk up to them and interact with them, they'll give you a hint. And that's basically what they do. And then there are challenges on the map. They're these little star icons, but in game, they're purple. And when you interact with them, they will give you a little challenge. That's usually a time challenge where you have to go through rings. And those are some of the things I forgot to mention. And then the last thing is there's an arcade with some mini games in them, and there are actually a surprising amount of mini games. I don't even think I unlocked all of them. So yeah, those are just things I forgot to mention that are in the game. And now I can actually talk about the boss fights. The boss fights in this game are nothing special. They're like very mediocre fights. And the first boss fight is Rhino. Rhino will cycle through 2 attacks where he'll just charge at you and you have to dodge him, and then you're just able to beat him up. And he has another attack where you'll just start spinning around with this canister thing. You need to just dodge that and you can just beat him up. And there's just a really easy way to cheese him by using the dodge time spider sense thing, and you'll just be able to beat the living daylights out of him and kind of just end the fight in like 30 seconds. So like, yeah. And the next boss fight is the Big Brain, and the Big Brain is in like this UFO, and you need to destroy the orbs that surround it, so then the shields will be lower and then you can actually fight him. And the only thing you have to worry about is the spinning saw blades under the Big Brain, but after that, you can just beat the living daylights out of it and it will just die pretty easily. So yeah, that's that boss fight. And then the next boss fight is actually Doc Ock first encounter, and he's easier than all the other Doc Ock fights, but he's kind of the same because you'll just like use his arms to attack you, but you'll also have goons that'll make it a little bit more challenging, and you just need to dodge his arms and web them up. I don't know if you can do it normally or you have to be in the spider sense time thing, but that's what I did, and I recommend you to do that if you want to just cheese his fight, but you don't have to fully beat him because he's like one of those scripted fights where you just beat him up a little bit and you'll just dip. And then the next boss fight is Shocker 1. And first time you fight Shocker in the game, he kind of just has a pretty standard move set where he'll just shoot lasers at you. Not really lasers, more like blast at you. I don't really know what to call them. And then he'll use like this beam that'll push you away. And then after beating him up a little bit, he'll like use this giant explosion attack that covers a wide area, and you'll also just summon goons, and that's pretty much it for the first time you fight Shocker. And then the next boss fight is it's the hardest boss fight in the entire fudging game. Like, this boss fight is so difficult and so challenging. It's Mysterio. He's like the hardest boss in the game, and like, I'm not even gonna spoil it because like, you have to play the game yourself to find out just how difficult he is. But yeah. And then the next boss fight is a Shocker again, because you have to fight him twice. He has basically the same moveset, but you will have to lower his shield and then you're able to fight him. But overall, he's pretty much the same exact fight with barely any differences. So yeah, that's Shocker again. And then the next boss fight is Doc Ock on the train, which this fight is very easy to cheese because he stands in one place, just dodge his tentacles using the spider time, and then you can just wail on him and just beat him so easily. It is so easy to cheese. And this is like the late game fight. And then you have the final boss fight, which is Doc Ock again, but he just has more health. And you kind of just have to do the same tactic, which is just dodge his tentacles, shoot them with webs in the spider time, and then you just beat him up, and then that's pretty much just it for all the boss fights in the game. They're not really anything special. They're just kind of like run-in-the-mill boss fights, and the hardest one in the game is Mysterio, but if there was a second one, it would be the final Doc Ock fight, mostly because of the garbage he can do, and then he'll just immediately end your fight by grabbing you and throwing you to the water, and then it just fails you instantly. So yeah, that's all the boss fights in the game, and that's it for the gameplay. I think the gameplay of Spider-Man 2 is genuinely some of the best in a Spider-Man game, and I really like it, and that's just it. Now for the conclusion of this video, how do I feel about this game? If you've watched this entire video, you probably know I fudging love this game. This is one of my favorite Spider-Man games of all time, and I still think it's one of the best Spider-Man games of all time. I just think it's so good, it's so fun, and as a lifelong Spider-Man fan who's played this game for so long, it still kind of holds up till this day, and I really love it. It is a testament that this game basically laid the groundwork for every Spider-Man game for years to come. Like, this game It's just like a really good game. Now, I would tell you to play this game, but that's gonna be a little difficult because, like what I said in the history segment, this game was released on the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube. Those consoles are old, and this game was a licensed game. So meaning this game is impossible to find anywhere unless you want to spend an arm and a leg. And there is another option to get this game, and that is Sailing the Seven Seas.
Being a pirate is horribly. Do what you want, 'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
I'm not telling you to do that, but that is a viable option to sail the seven seas. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video. If you want to see more like this, put in the comments below. Thanks for the support, like always. This was your host, TequilaMan64. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.